Patrick Bet-David just had some really bad things done to him on his own podcast, and it's really embarrassing. One of the downsides of being on the internet, as much as a lot of us are, is we're stuck in this algorithmic society, and how we consume content is a recipe for disaster. So a lot of us, we're not watching full podcast episodes, we're only seeing the clips online. And the people who clips come across your screen the most often are people who are able to game the algorithm. And usually the clips they're putting out there voluntarily are clips that makes them look like demigods. So in the case of Patrick Bet-David, if his clips are coming across your screen a lot because he's able to game the algorithm, well, then you're only seeing, the best depictions of him, right? You're seeing him in demigod form. You're seeing him debate and destroy people. You're thinking he's the smartest man on earth. This is why this video is very important, because you're about to see what happens when these demigods have conversations with normal people. David Pakman recently went on Patrick Bet-David's podcast. And by recently, I mean last year. I thought I'd clarify that. He absolutely destroyed him and exposed him. The best way I can describe this experience is like taking the modern day red pill, gender war, debate questions and presenting them to real adults in real life. Like taking the question of, do you guys go 50-50? And asking a normal married couple that question, they'll look at you as if you're dumb, huh? Sir, our money is in a joint account. We pay our bills from the joint account. We go out to eat and pay from our joint account. So when we bring these internet discussions to real life, usually the internet discussions and the talking points get looked at by regular people as just dumb. And that's what we saw with Patrick Bet-David and David Pakman. Patrick Bet-David was spewing talking points that he's used to regurgitating with no feedback whatsoever. But when you are forced to, debate and actually talk out those talking points with somebody who has common sense or somebody with moderate intelligence, you end up looking really dumb. Now, I'm not saying I agree with either party's opinions. No. We're only judging this based on how well they're able to argue each point.
Opinion of the U.S. has dramatically improved since Biden replaced Trump. I think that matters. I'm not an isolationist, so I think it's important that other countries respect the office of the presidency. And under Trump, it was a joke, literally laughed at the UN, goes to India, mispronounces 10 Indian names, and the crowd is just leaving. It was a humiliation everywhere he went. So I think that's it's like a soft thing that I think is really good.
So the fact that we're no longer feared is a good thing.
Regardless of where your personal philosophy lies on the spectrum of this argument, you're about to see the difference between a formed and developed opinion and social media talking points, right? It sounds cool to say because David Pakman has a formed and developed opinion that's backed by whatever his evidence is. Patrick Bet-David has a talking point that he's regurgitating, and you're about to see the difference between the two by their interaction.
I don't know where you're getting that we are no longer feared.
So you think people fear Biden?
What I'm asking you is what data do you have that we are no longer feared?
Well, that's what data is not any data to give. I mean,
then how do you know it is?
But during Biden is when Russia felt comfortable bullying Ukraine. During Biden is even if you look at Afghanistan on the way we left, people on the left were not happy by the way we left Afghanistan.
Which people?
Even 82 billion, I can give you a lot of different names.
Like who?
CIA, who was the CIA guy that we had here who was on...
Philip Mudd?
With a Z. What's his name?
Matt Zeller?
Matt Zeller.
This is some cold work by David Pakman. Take notice how Patrick Bet-David is struggling through his argument, and David Pakman helps him out, gives him an assist mid-argument, so he can prepare to demolish him. Yeah, this is cold.
Guy agent who was on MSNBC, he called him out. He was on MSNBC.
But that's one person, right?
No, but there's a lot of them though. If I actually pull it up and if I do the Google search on it, I'll find plenty of names from their own side.
Let's do it. That's fine. But I think one important thing to back up is you first kind of gave me what's not really a very fair question. You go, are you not worried that the U.S. is no longer feared?
So you're saying they don't fear you?
But hold on. Let me finish my response. Okay.
Yeah.
You first presented to me, and these are a lot of conversations go like this. You present to me, is it not a concern to me that the U.S. is no longer feared? And I said, well, where are you getting that? Where's the data? You go, there is no data. So let's first start with
what I said is it's not the fear. I didn't say there's no data. You can't pull data, meaning you can't find data on fear.
What? Yo, this man literally said, I did not say that there was no data. What I said was, you can't find data on this. You can't pull data. How do you find data for fear? Sir, so you deny that you said it, and then you follow that up with a confession that you said it. Here's the thing, yo. For most people watching this video, you're probably like, duh. Of course the United States was more feared. Of course it's common sense that people will probably fear somebody, who's a little bit more strict, a little bit more unhinged and sporadic than they will fear Joe Biden. That's a fair assumption to make. But you have to actually come into the discussion with solid points and arguments to back it up. And in this case, Patrick Bet-David, who gets away with debating, I guess, nincompoops and peons and destroying them, he gets in front of somebody who is actually a pretty reasonable, fair, unbiased, pretty down the middle, common sense guy. And Patrick Bet-David is looking like an amateur. He's looking like a school kid. He's looking like a fifth grader trying to be in a debate club with high schoolers.
Then how do you know that's
fear
the
is
case?
action? Fear is action. Did during Trump Russia attack Ukraine?
No, that's not. Yeah.
What happened with Palestine and Israel?
What happened?
What happened? They came together after 20-some years.
What?
What are you talking about when you say what?
What are you talking about?
Look at Pat's eyes right now. Yo, they're so wide and beady. He's like, yo, Adam, help me out here, bro. These talking points ain't working. Yo, David Pakman is so bewildered. Like, he's like, yo, y'all got like 1 million plus, bro. Like, yo, I thought I was talking to people with a brain here. Like, what? And Patrick turns to Adam, bro, like, looking like a deer in headlights, looking like he has absolute fear on his eyes because he knows what's about to happen. He knows this is getting clipped. He knows he's about to get exposed. And he's just begging Adam, bro, for validation and help, man. Step in, Adam, save me. But David Pakman, man, didn't stop spanking that eye.
Hold on.
Well, he moved the capital to Jerusalem, is what you're saying.
So let's.
I don't know if there's
that.
been peace in the Middle East or anything like that.
Has there been any progress on peace?
Very limited.
It wasn't the capital. Did moving the embassy?
The embassy.
Hold on
correct,
a second. Let me ask the question. Did moving the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem get us closer to peace, or did it get us further away? Do either of you guys know? I don't know if you've studied this issue.
There's arguments on both ends, but it has not led to peace and prosperity in Palestine, correct?
Did Trump promise, there's a very critical, clear question. Did Trump promise that Jared Kushner would solve the Israeli-Palestinian conflict during the first term?
That's
just
overreach.
a yes, no. Did he promise it?
I don't know if he promised it or promises made, promises kept. He was assigned to that duty.
And did it happen?
Did what happen?
Did Jared negotiate peace?
But I don't think anybody believed that peace was happening in the Middle East.
So it's okay for him to make promises that are obvious lies?
But you can see Patrick Bet-David stuttering worse than me before Pakman even got out the question of, okay, so he lied, right? Like, it's okay to lie. Yo, and the next couple of seconds is about to expose the weakness in Patrick Bet-David, right? And the weakness is he has the inability to just call it straightforward, bro. Right? When it comes to Trump and the right, he has the inability to just call it straightforward. Now, here's the thing, yo. When people on the left does this, because we made a lot of video about Charlamagne the God and Breakfast Club, when they do this for Kamala, we called him out, we pointed out, and we laugh at them. So when Patrick Bet-David is doing this for Trump, you got to call it out and laugh at him too. Right? Because you're about to witness his inability to be impartial. Yo, yes, Trump lied, okay? Bro, everybody lied. It's not okay, he's wrong, he's a politician, so what? That's the right answer. He lied. Yes, he did. It's wrong. Politicians lie. Okay. But Pat Bet-David is about to try to take every corner, cut every Cross trying to make every excuse for why Trump ain't a liar. No, bro, he lied regarding like Palestine.
Make the argument. Go back to the argument about the fact that America on all polls today is, would you say, liked? What was the word you used?
So I think the really important thing when we talk about this is we talk about what we can measure. So the Gallup polling that has been done.
So you trust polls?
Oh, come on.
But that's where we're going, though.
I'm not saying all polls are trustworthy, but if we have gotten to a point in American society now where polls matter if it's to prove something that I've said, and polls don't matter if it's proven the opposite. Like, people will say, yo, Trump ain't racist, homie. Look at the polls. Look how Latinos voted for Trump. Look at the approval rate among African Americans. Now, I don't think Trump is racist. I just don't. And I don't need a poll to see that Trump is not racist. However, people will bring up polls to prove that. So when the poll is saying, you know, the opposite, now it's polls. Well, then where do you get the data from? So data don't matter no more, bruh? Now the facts don't care about your feelings, don't care about analytics no more? Man, come on, bro. Yo, this is an embarrassing display by Patrick Bet-David.
If we want to talk about, am I upset that the U.S. isn't feared, since you brought that question forward, the appropriate thing would be for you to give me the data.
But no, go back to what you said. You said U.S. is what? You said you like the fact that U.S. is liked more today under Biden?
No, I didn't use that term.
What was the term you used, if you don't mind saying it again?
On average, countries respect the U.S. more now that Biden is president.
And
Trump
you value that.
I think it's important because can I tell you why?
Sure.
I think it's important because between trade and globalization and problems we deal with that don't respect the borders of countries, it's important to be, again, it's not about liked, it's not about, it's to be respected globally. I do think that actually matters.
So why do you think they didn't like or respect Trump?
I disagree with David Pakman in terms of the world not respecting the United States under Trump. Now, maybe they respected the United States under Biden more, if that's whatever the polls say, but I don't feel like there was ever a time where the world woke up one day and say, we don't respect the authority and the power of the United States. Sorry, not in our lifetime, bro. Not in our lifetime, bro. We've always been an 800-pound gorilla. Right? We've always had power, military structure. Yo, we just control too much. Like, there's no way a country wake up and say, hey, we don't respect the United States. Now, maybe if Trump is going to these various countries and, you know, he's not being a politician, he's being Trump. He's being a real human being. He's being a real person, right? You know, he's speaking in layman terms. He's speaking to resonate with the average man. Maybe, you know, these stuck-up politicians, these stuck-up presidents, these stuck-up head of councils and head of states in these other countries, maybe they're not used to a president speaking in layman terms. Maybe they, you know, were somewhat condescending to Trump. Okay, but, you know, like their personal opinion of Trump and how Trump speaks has nothing to do with their respect for the authority of the United States. Trust me, nobody was disregarding the authority of the United States, probably outside of Russia and China, but that's another story.
Let's see what you're going to say with that. Why do you think? Tell me.
The guy's a joke.
He is?
Yeah.
Okay, tell us why. And Biden's not a joke.
Well,
You're
we can talk about Biden.
Oh, because Biden's like the GOAT. And,
No.
Tell us why you think he's a joke.
Promises made that were not kept that he told us he was going to achieve for us. Let's look at some of them. I'm going to get rid of Obamacare and replace it with, his word, a beautiful replacement where everyone will have care and it's going to be affordable. Okay. Just flat out didn't happen. The one proposal that Republicans made would have led to 24 to 32 million people losing health care. I consider that a failure. I don't think Obamacare is perfect, but it's better than the thing Trump said he was going to bring us. That was just a failure. 2, build a wall across the entire U.S.-Mexico border, which Mexico is going to pay for. It's not even worth having a conversation. I mean, just a joke. Of course, completely didn't happen. Solve the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. No progress made. In fact, to be honest, and this is, you know, if we want to delve into that, moving the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem got us further from that because it's seen as a sort of a taunting measure if you understand the internal politics of what's going on there.
The thing with this is Patrick Bet-David could have brought up the First Step Act. He could have brought up a lot of things because Trump wasn't a horrible president. He just wasn't. But he was so unprepared and unequipped. Once his usual talking points was debunked and not really working, he had nothing else. And to me, that's a shame, right? And he got exposed. And his audience thinks so too. Most of the comment section was like this. Baby D was annoying. David Pakman destroyed these two. It really wasn't fair and it really wasn't close. If you're still watching this, let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this? Did he win the debate or lose the debate? And if you're still watching, click on this video right here to find out why Kodak Black is self-destructing right in front of our very eyes, but this is why we shouldn't care he's self-destructing. Click on this video here to find out what I'm talking about. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.